Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite, March 4th, 2026 review. My thoughts on this show, honestly, is kind of mixed. I think they told some stories to highlight some reason why matches are taking place on the Revolution card. But some championship matches did not really make a lot of sense. I know Thunder Rosa and Tekla for the Women's World Championship was on the line. It was mentioned a week ago. But then to throw in a bunch of other championship matches at random, apparently MJF and Kevin Knight had a little verbal altercation with one another on Collision this past Saturday while the Elimination Chamber was going on. I was trying to watch both shows while I was in the hospital because I had access to TNT and whatnot, and I was watching the Elimination Chamber off my phone. So I tried to watch both. I got a little bit of I was able to pay a little bit of attention to Collision. And they mentioned they had Kevin Knight and MJF talking shit to each other on that episode. So apparently this is why the World Championship took place. And this was the match that opened the show. My attitude is the match wasn't bad, but honestly, what was the purpose? What was the need? Does it really matter? Does anyone care? No. Kevin Knight had no chance of winning. No one was going to believe that. Why book the match? Why make it happen? It makes no fucking sense. I honestly thought this was a terrible booking decision. All this was a filler for the match card for the night. And yeah, the match was fine. It was good, but it didn't have any rhyme or reason to be there. In my personal opinion. Just because they had a scuffle on Collision that no one hardly watches. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I'm going to start watching it during the weekdays, but I'm not watching that shit live on a Saturday night. Man, fucking Saturday's preserved for UFC. I'm sorry. I'm not going to waste my fucking time with Collision on a Saturday night. But then again, some people actually probably prefer Collision over whatever shit we watched on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great by any means. It's not like I went out of my way saying, oh, it was a fantastic pay-per-view. My God, the build-up towards it was shit. Everything on the Elimination Chamber building up towards it was shit. The build towards WrestleMania has been a big giant load of shit outside of Roman and CM Punk. I do have a news story I'm going to cover on this channel, I think tomorrow. So watch out for that. I may cover it for you. I may not. I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, it's pretty funny. A WWE ESPN relationship ain't looking so hot. So I'm going to get into that with you guys sometime tomorrow after work and dinner and go over that with you. I think it's a nice little laugh because I think ESPN's opening their eyes to what a waste of money they threw on WWE. And they don't even get all their content. They're just getting their pay-per-views. And we're getting shit for that too. 2026 WWE has been the absolute worst shit can walking on the face of the earth. And the funny thing is, AEW hasn't been all that bad in the year of 2026. I think they've been fairly decent. Now, this episode, kind of a downgrade towards what they've done in the last couple of weeks. I don't think this was a great episode, but I don't think this was a bad episode either. But yeah, MJF opened the show with him defending his title against Kevin Knight. Good matchup. Kevin Knight had to do double duty tonight, defending the Trios Tag Team titles as well, which they lost those to the Don Callis family, consisting of Okada, fucking Kyle Fletcher and and Mark Davis. So Mark Davis finally gets a W, and Mark Davis actually got the win for his team, no less. I think that was delivered on Kevin Knight. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. After the match was over, MJF grabs the diamond ring. He actually connected on Kevin Knight to get the W, but out comes Adam Page. MJF looks at him, and in comes Mike Bailey from behind. He lands a super kick to MJF, and MJF falls to the outside. So that was pretty much what happened there. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin went up against Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. Decent matchup. Later on in the show is mentioned that they're going to keep on fighting Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors in a tag team match at Revolution. Hopefully they, up the stakes here. But, I mean, it ain't by much. But there's been a little bit of confliction with Orange Cassidy and Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. So I kind of letting it slide here. It's got a little bit of story. I'd say it'd be the second match on the card to start off the show. Honestly, I don't think this should be like in the middle of the show or anything. I think it should be the second match. Back from commercial break, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin did win the match. Cassidy connected with an orange punch, and he goes for the cover for the 1-2-3, and that's that. In comes David Finlay from behind with a shillelagh, and he hits Cassidy and Allin with it. And Connors and Kidd Connors and Kidd gold Allin up, and Finlay pulls Allin up, and Finlay hits Allin with the shillelagh. We cut to Renee Paquette, who is with Bandito and Andrade. They talk about their match that is coming up, and Andrade walks away. Bandito talks very positively about Andrade, and Andrade says, "Wow, for a guy who's going up against me, you sound more like a fan who wants a selfie with me than you're actually going ahead and coming into the match to beat me. Maybe we should stand here and do a selfie together. How about that?" And he acts like he's going to raise his phone. He goes, "Oh, on second thought, I got to take this call. I'll catch up with you later." That was funny as shit. That I liked. I thought that was fucking funny. Anyway, moving on, we had the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. They actually cut a funny promo last week backstage talking about how they're going to fuck everybody up. And they had a funny line that I forgot. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of weird. It feels like we're in the multiverse of wrestling here. We had the inspiration of the Moronics, Jesse McKay and Cassie Lee, formerly known as the Iconics in WWE, now here in AEW. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't see the inspiration as a match with the AEW roster. They do not fit the AEW bill. I'm sorry, but I'm glad they came in and lost very quickly. They were squashed in no time. And the Brawling Birds won this match in less than 30 seconds, honestly. Hangman Page, he had a match with a local jobber that no one cares to know. He wins the match very quickly as well with a buckshot lariat. So we get two matches back-to-back with quick results. Not a good look there. I'm not too keen on that, but hey, it is what it is. So after the match, Page grabs on the microphone and he says if MJF wants a piece of that, he has put his future at stake to do what his parents should have done, and that is to teach him a lesson. He tells MJF that in Texas death, he has no conscience. He tells MJF that he will rip him and he will tear him apart. he says that MJF is the world champion. Surely Page doesn't scare him. He has already shown that he wants to punch someone with his diamond ring. He tells MJF to put the ring on and come out to the ring. So MJF comes out, who says it is bad enough he has to be in the C-tier town of El Paso, Texas. And he tells Page he just whooped Knight's ass. He says it's bad enough he has to listen to him yap next week at the press conference and not to make him come down and whoop his ass too. Out comes Kyle Fletcher, Davis, and Okada from behind. They hit Page, and out comes Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight with steel chairs. Fletcher and Davis and Okada leave the ring and retreat up the ramp. Out comes Don Callis, who challenges them to a trios match. Now, before he even challenges him for the trios match, they kind of just sum it up here. He talks some shit. He says, "How about you, Kevin Knight and Adam Page, and oh yeah, you jet speed Mike Bailey, Canadian scumbag or piece of shit or some shit like that." I'd have loved to hear him say, and you speedball coke snorting Mike Bailey. That would have been fucking hilarious. I was anticipating Don Callis to say some shit like that, and it didn't come out of his mouth. I was so disappointed. I was hoping he would call him a fucking cokehead. Since he calls himself Speedball. What the fuck? He calls himself Speedball. What the fucking shit? Oh my gosh. But yeah, the match is made for the main event. For a trios tag team match, which wasn't bad actually. I had fun watching that match. A clip of earlier in the day airs where it is FTR and the Young Bucks sitting in an office with Renee Paquette in the middle. FTR says they pile drive their brother, push their parents. Buck says at Revolution it won't just be about winning the titles, it'll be about revenge as well. The FTR discussed about, here we are again, 3-time tag team champions, Young Bucks, 3-time champion FTR. The winner gets to claim they're the best tag team of this millennial. And then the Young Bucks come in and they say, well, you know what? You went ahead and made this personal instead of just professional. You attacked our family and you hurt our brother. And they said, well, we did that in self-defense. They're the ones that put their hands on us first. So it's not like we were going ahead and going to do anything to them in the first place had they just not put their hands on us. And that is such a crock of shit. I bet you if I went to watch a Collision episode, I'm pretty certain that they put their hands on the Young Bucks' family first. But it is what it is. And not to mention, they didn't need to go that far anyway, even if they did, because all they really did, more than likely, is shove them because they were pissed off at them, and that's it. Next, we had the Continental Eliminator match with Jon Moxley and Hechicero. Oh, God. At least Jon Moxley wasn't on the opener of this show, like he has been every fucking week for the last, 6 months? Who fucking knows? These fucking idiots, they always got Jon Moxley in on the opener of the show for whatever fucked up reason. I have no idea why. But hey, it is what it is, I guess, right? Fucking hey. But yeah, anyway, we had Jon Moxley. He won his matchup, obviously. He ain't gonna be being challenged for the Continental Championship leading into his match against Takeshita, which is going to be a fucking awesome match, I think. I got Takeshita winning that match easily with no question. So out comes Takeshita after the match, but Moxley leaves the ring. Out comes Brody King, who calls out Swerve Strickland. This is after the commercial break. And out comes Prince Nana. He asks Brody if he is sure if he wants to go down that rabbit hole trying to prove that he's the dangerous man in AEW. And he's asking him, do you really want to go down that rabbit hole to find out? Brody tells him to bring Swerve out. Prince Nana begins to laugh and introduces Swerve to the ring, and Swerve comes out from behind on Brody King and hits him with a chair, or a steel chain. Excuse me. He grabs the chain and begins to choke Brody with it. He ties the chain around the top rope, and Swerve gets to the outside and begins to choke Brody with it. Swerve tells Brody that this is how you chain a dog. Very good description and example there. He says all of AEW is on notice. I think we know that from last week. It is one thing to talk about being the most dangerous man. It's another to actually do it. And he's about that action. He tells Brody he will see him at Revolution. Out comes Bandito and Swerve runs away. I honestly do not understand why Bandito had to get involved in this. Like, your best friend was sitting there straddled up by the neck for at least a good 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, you think he would have ran down there a little bit earlier and tried to assist? Was he too busy in catering, eating his food, and then all of a sudden he saw on the fucking screens that his best buddy was being hanged by the throat? Kind of weird, kind of suspicious to me. But hey, I'm just here watching the shit, and I'm reviewing it. But it is what it is. God, that was kind of fucking stupid, honestly, in my opinion. Then we had Tekla. Yes, Tekla. Defending her women's championship against Thunder Rosa. This match was okay. I wasn't disappointed in it, but, it was a match that we all knew was predictable as fuck. Nobody thought that Thunder Rosa was winning this match. She hasn't been on fucking television in God knows how long. Hasn't won any matches to earn a shot at the fucking title. So what are we doing? Outside of just throwing a title match on there just for the sake of doing it. So anyway, moving on. After the match, out comes Chris Statlander after the match is over, but Tekla leaves the ring. And that's pretty much it. I have to admit, Chris Statlander looked a little bit different. Wearing sunglasses. She looked like Laura Kraft from Tomb Raider. Just saying. All she was missing is the holsters with the pistols in her legs. Just saying. I don't know if she's going to be going to a video game convention situation type of thing, or Comic-Con or some shit like that. Who the fuck knows? But she definitely looked a little like a dark version of fucking, she's being like Laura Kraft, who's on a depression day. Having a depressive day. She's a little sad under the eyes and, feeling like she needs a good cry after she lost her puppy or something. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, her look is kind of different. But, yeah. But then again, she did warn her to be careful. Thunder Rosa against Tekla. Anyway, following that, out comes Renee Paquette, and she introduces Tommaso Ciampa. He tells her that Kyle Fletcher took his TNT title, and now he's hiding behind the Don Callis family. He says Kyle Fletcher knows that the second they get in the ring, he will become the new TNT champion once again. FTR, for some odd reason, come out. They give a little bit of an issue towards Tommaso Ciampa. And Tommaso Ciampa didn't like what they had to say. He talks some smack to Stokely as well. And, sorry about that. That was my laundry in the background going off. It's done. Anyway, they had him take shots at Stokely, and FTR got in his face a little bit for talking smack to him, and he said, Tommaso Ciampa said, well, earlier in the day you guys had a no contact clause or no physicality clause to your face-to-face verbal discussion there, but we don't. And he took a nice little shot to Dax Hardwood right in the kisser. I think a lot of people enjoyed that. Dax is just I don't know what's happened to Dax. I used to love Dax. He's a fucking dick. Somebody must have cloned him. People all think that Jim Carrey was cloned. Maybe Dax Hardwood was cloned. He never used to be like this, being an asshole to fans and shit. I mean, like, what is this new Dax Hardwood that we've got in the last few years? I mean, this is not like him. But it is what it is. But I enjoyed watching that, and I hope Tommaso Ciampa does regain the TNT title back at some point down the line this year, because I think what they did with him was just downright dirty. But I got the idea why they did it, and it's fine. I didn't really have an issue with that, but I didn't particularly like the idea that if you had that planned originally, why go ahead and make him have him win the title in the first place? Why not just keep him away from the TNT title until you were ready to put the title on him so he has a reasonable title run? But it is what it is. Anyway, main event time. The Trios Tag Team titles, as I already mentioned, the new Trios Tag Team champions, Mark Davis, Okada, and Kyle Fletcher. This was a good main event. It was a last-minute thrown-together match. I will admit that, though. But this match was fine. I really enjoyed myself, and it was enjoyable to watch. This does leave you guessing now, who the fuck is winning this match between MJF and Hangman Page? Clearly, MJF got the advantage in this matchup because he actually interfered in the matchup, which helped the Don Callis family to win the Trios Tag Team titles. So it makes you wonder, are they actually legitimately going to take the title from MJF at this point? The only way I see that happening is if MJF is going off to do another movie. And I hope that's not the case, because if it is, it really sucks to have him champion. Because then he can't focus his wrestling career on, when he's the champion, to be that champion leader of the AEW roster. And quite frankly, AEW is not AEW without MJF. I'm sorry. MJF makes AEW what it is. I mean, you got your Kenny Omegas, you got your Young Bucks. Yeah, they're one of the co-founders of this promotion, along with Cody Rhodes. But MJF's the star. He's the future of this company. He's a guy I could see staying with AEW for as long as he wrestles. But they got to build a new star. They got to build some stars, man. I mean, granted, they got their Swerve Stricklands, man. Swerve Strickland is really good at what he does. But again, he ain't no AJ style. He ain't no MJF. I'm sorry. He's just not that guy. He doesn't bring out that character. He's got a character, don't get me wrong, but it ain't the level of the devil. I'm sorry. As dangerous as he wants to be, I think MJF's that much more sick. And I think that is something we are going to see in this matchup, in this Texas death match. When he gets his first taste of being run through the fucking mill in that glass, if that's something that they decide to do, that's when that switch turns on, and we need to see MJF turn into a ravaged dog and want to fucking kill Hangman Page and make him more vicious and ferocious of a guy that we have never seen before by MJF, and he just destroys Hangman Page. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hangman Page is going to go back and forth with him, but we need to see MJF go real dark and be a fucking savage in that match. But yeah, I'm really concerned where they're going with this. I'm still leaning to MJF winning. I think they're going to find a loophole to get Hangman Page back into the title picture again at some point down the line. I can't imagine them having to strip Hangman Page from ever winning a world championship out of his career. I mean, the guy is not that old. I mean, he's probably his mid-30s. So, I mean, he's still got years left in him. I don't see why he would never get a run with the world championship while he still wrestles for AEW. So, find that a little strange, but I'm a little concerned, though, because, I mean, you're throwing that stipulation out there, and I've been concerned about it since the moment it happened. Now I'm even more concerned from this episode because Hangman lost his title, and MJF was the reason why that happened. So it kind of makes me question on where they're going to go with the world title at Revolution. But I'm leaning towards MJF. I still think he's going to win this match. I just hope at some point they can find a loophole to make sense of this where they can bring him back into the world title picture again. But anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.